Hi there, we are at the Goodwill on Roherstown Road. I thought I was going to be able to get away with an in-store voiceover, but the music was way too loud. This was the very first thing that caught my eye. I put this in my cart for a time. My idea was to take off the ornaments off of the tree. It does have a battery pack. It looked like it took 3 batteries. There was some corrosion in the batteries. I thought, well, I could get away with it. Then my idea was I could take all these tiny ornaments off the tree, and that would take a lot of time. And then this was the one I saw across the way. We were just on the other side of the shelf. If you hear sniffing, it's Susie. uh, some of these were broken off. It said it was created by Evelyn and Tom for Grace Miller in 1986. Some of the ornaments were in okay shape, and some of them were broken off, and some of them I don't think I would be able to get off the tree. My idea would to take it and repurpose it, but I decided in the end to leave both of them behind for somebody who could maybe actually use them. I thought that was an amazing, darling craft project. So kudos to them for making those 2 trees. I saw this. This is a Beswick, England bird. It does have a chip on the back of the tail, but it's a very nice piece. I have been buying bird figurines lately and putting them up on knickknacks, and then that was a glass set of stir sticks. Even though with the chip on the back, the top feather and the beak weren't chipped, so I decided to get that. I was very excited about seeing the bottom to a vintage Christmas tree. I do have some Christmas, I think I have my father-in-law's, a white one, and my father-in-law's is green, and I have another green one. So I have 3. I have plenty. I don't need any more. This one I thought about getting, but I didn't want to get it and then the base be too small. It also was a musical. You can see the music thing there. The music thing turned, but it didn't play any music. I ended up just leaving it for somebody else to get excited and take a chance on it. Mine sit fine without the bases. So that's my decision for leaving that behind there. I've gotten some fantastic Christmas ornaments here lately, so I was definitely looking through the bags to see if there was any ornaments I needed. I didn't find any ornaments, but I found a bedtime buddy. This is so weird. I love it so much. Its eyes look like mushrooms. It had yellowing on it, but I was able to clean it up. It's all nice and shiny clean to a certain extent. And then I also walked across this and I was like, whoa, the camera. I thought this looks like Stangle. And sure enough, it is Stangle. It is a beautiful blue color that's so pretty. I have not seen this before. I think someone else will like it. So I decided to get the Stangle and the bedtime buddy. And then I was making sure, who makes this? They had a whole bunch of this country home and garden things. It's like someone had some stuff that they had ordered from there and then just donated it all. So I think that was also home and garden. I'm not quite sure what was going on there. It was nice though. This was interesting. This was a bookend. It was more contemporary. $3.99 for that. People like seahorses, so that's why I was attracted to that. And then here was a handmade mug. It was signed and everything, but it had a certain year on it, and I think that kind of curtails who's going to really want that mug. Here was an Irish coffee mug, but there was just one of those. I'm trying not to buy mugs, and I've been doing a good job, but sometimes if something catches my eye, I think, well, let's just look at it a little bit further. Here was a nice creamer, lusterware with the orange and blue. I will pick those up from time to time. I thought this was also an interesting glass. There was just one of these. And I think, yes, this pink depression glass little tidbit thing I thought was very pretty, but left it there. I didn't get anything in the case. This is the Goodwill where I always look in the cases first, and I usually find some goodies, but I didn't find anything this time. That was marked Japan, I believe, on the bottom. It was nice that they bundled both the pieces, and this I thought was interesting. That's why I picked it up, and I thought, oh, it's just a votive holder. And then now we're going to make our way to another part of the store. There's a look for you at the shelves. They had a whole bunch of bunny rabbits. This was a nice little piece. Let's see. What am I looking for? Oh, I think I'm always on the lookout for the fairy lights or bottoms here. And so I need to really look at the clear glass and not just glance over, because that's how I almost missed the fairy lights in Wellsboro. I just glanced over the box. I was looking at the bottom of this to see if it was actually wood. It was not. And then these are two hobbyist pieces that I thought were very cute. They had the date on them. They obviously went together. Here was another pink glass piece, probably was donated by the other piece, the other person who donated the pink glass. Maybe not though, but I would guess so. I thought this was interesting. It was cats with fish in them. And then here's a better look at the shelves. These shelves are never overfilled like the Big Goodwill over out on Route 30. They always are kind of on the empty side, which I'm not really quite sure. But I did go to the Big Goodwill the other day and they had emptied out the shelves, which was very nice to see because they were easier to look through. But see how empty, I mean, their shelves are pretty empty. They've always been this way. I wonder if they don't get a lot of donations from headquarters. I'm not quite sure because my favorite Goodwill, their shelves are always filled, and the Big Goodwill is always filled. But this one kind of gets the remnants of everybody maybe. This looks like a metal pot that you see the Japanese teapots, but this actually was ceramic. It had a chip on the lid, unfortunately, and it was marked on the bottom. Definitely ceramic, but also was copying very closely the metal teapots that you see with that same design. I thought this was very sweet. These are manatees, right? I think they are. It had a lot of wear, and it was a bigger figurine, and that is why I left it there, because it was a very large figurine. I got this for Jimmy because we love Maine. We would love to live there one day, and I really thought that had a nice look to it, nice vintage look to it. So I got that for him, and he loved it. I thought this was weird. It has fake roots and fake sprouts coming out of the fake moss. I thought that was just too weird. And then here was someone's bouquet. I did silk flowers for my wedding. I had real flowers for my bouquet, and Jimmy had real flowers for his boutonniere, but everybody else got silk flowers. It saved money, and it was fun to do. And it was the late 90s, so it was a thing to do back then. I don't know if it's a thing to do now. Nowadays, I think the silk flowers are even nicer and more realistic than back then. Seeing the lid on this butter box reminded me of one time when I was in Poland with my aunt and uncle, and we stayed at a hotel, and the breakfast had a buffet, and they had lard and they had butter, or they had a choice of lard and butter. And I think that says all is butter. Maybe on the lid, I'm not quite sure. This little girl looks like she loves butter, and that is why I made her sit in front of the butter jar, because she looked delighted. Here is the area where they have paper goods and office supplies. Sometimes they will have craft or stitchery kits, so I like to look in here. A bag of ornaments had made their way over here, so I was checking that out to see if there were any vintage ones. I was also looking at the price of this duct tape to see if it was super cheap, because, you know, duct tape fixes everything. I always like to take the time to look through all of the bags, because you never know what kind of supplies you see that you might not have known that you needed. It's very easy to look through these shelves, like I said, because they are not oversaturated with inventory. Inventory was, I think, the word I was looking for with the Southern Homes and Garden earlier in the video with all of the dishware. I think that's the word, not stuff. People had donated their inventory. These are super cool. I used to use these when I was teaching. You wrap them so the children learn their numbers, and you wrap the answers, and then when you flip it over, the wrapping of the string should match the card. Simple idea, but very effective. I thought this was super cool. This definitely has some age to it. I like the handle, the green color. It didn't have any chips. It probably came with some outer pieces to it and on a Lazy Susan, but I still thought it was nice, singular. And then this probably matched the creamer. It was probably the sugar bowl, but it was missing its lid. I did decide to take that green bowl with me, and there is something on the second shelf that I'm going to get. Do you see it? I was looking at the signature on this little bowl. It was a nice little simple bowl. I was seeing if it was anybody I recognized, and I did not recognize it. I did think about it, but I decided, no, I don't really need a little bowl. Somebody else does. I was distracted by this. This was marked Made in Mexico on the bottom, but it leaned. It leans already without having anything in it. So I decided not to get that. And there, of course, there's only one. This looks like it's Wedgwood, but it was not Wedgwood. It did not have the Wedgwood stamp. True Wedgwood has a stamp that says Wedgwood on the bottom. I know that because I listed one time a lot of Wedgwood for Jocelyn. I told her I don't want any more Wedgwood. I do enjoy it. I do like the colors. I like the black and the green. It's kind of this same celadon green color, but the blue Wedgwood is very, very common. There's more bunny rabbits in the back. I still have not discovered the item that I am going to find. Some of you might have already guessed what it was. This was a cookie press of a cat. There were lots of things to look at here, and I love that when you come upon a shelf and there's all these little things to look at. I thought this might be a Yesterday's Child design. I think that is the name of it. I can never remember. They're all little children. Oh, here it is, finally. It's a hula girl. I did fix her skirt with glue so it looks better. Right now she has tape holding it on. She has a tiny little chip to the paint on her nose, but I think that could be easily fixed. And I dusted her off, and she is super cool. Look at that. And then here we have a candle keeper, I think, holder, candlestick thing. Then I was thinking to myself, oh, now I have two bobbly heads. I have that girl that said kiss me, and I have a hula girl. Maybe I could have a bobblehead sale, but I only have two things. I was making my way out the door, well, to the checkout, and I look back at the end caps one more time to see if there's anything I missed because they were actively restocking. And I came across this basket purse. At first I thought it was a sewing basket. It still might be a sewing basket, but I think someone could use this as a purse or handbag. It's lined inside and it has all of these seashells and some sea glass glued to the top of it. Super dirty, but I felt that this could be saved and clean. You know how I love to clean things up. I haven't seen this before. Obviously someone made this. I think this is outstanding. So I decided to get that after I looked at this chicken with a chipped beak. And I also found this telephone. This is a fake telephone figurine, I think from Hobby Lobby or somewhere. So I decided not to get that. Oh, it was a coin bank. But not to get that, but to get the purse instead. Oh, I think it's so cool looking. And now we are going to move on to days 5 and 6 of the Advent calendar. Enjoy! It is day 5 and we are going to China. I have the passport already. Yesterday we went to Japan. Today is China. The capital is Beijing. An interesting fact, well, I think an interesting fact is it's Mandarin and 291 native languages. But they are saying the interesting fact is Chinese invented ice cream, tomato ketchup, paper money notes, the fastest train on earth, just to name a few. All right, let's see what the envelope looks like. Here is day 5. It just feels like paper. And I appreciate all the positive feedback on this series. I know that some of you are really enjoying it. And I'm going to pull the papers out and then I look on the instructions and I show you the finished product. You're going to get day 5 and 6 on this video, so stay tuned. My favorite colors were in this envelope. Pink string, pink paper. I love pink and orange together. Orange is my favorite color. So we have pink, orange, red, and green. I am thinking it's another hanging project because there's the string. And Japan had string as well. Jenny, do you want to come give your opinion what you think it is? Yes. I haven't looked at the directions, but just 4 folded pieces of paper and string. Do you think it's, see my fish over there? Do you think it's something like that?
Maybe like more paper maybe like paper
lanterns.
Ooh. Because that's kind of more like, well, is this Japan or China?
It's China.
China. Because that makes sense since...
Okay.
Like stuff like that's like Chinatown usually does
they have paper lanterns. Yeah, there is.
And China's gonna...
I know, he's gonna tap. It's okay. They do have a lot of... So maybe it is a Chinese lantern.
Right.
Ooh, that would be pretty. All right. Enough with this. Just figure it out. Let's go look to the instructions. And here is the finished project. Jenny was right. They were lanterns. It was pretty easy to do. The only thing I would have done differently is attach these before I rolled them up. This was the last step. I really like this, and I think it'll make a nice decoration over the Christmas season. See you for day 6 tomorrow. We are on day 6, and we are making our way from China down south to Thailand. The capital city of Thailand is Bangkok. The population is 70 million. Interesting fact, Bangkok's real name is Krong Thep Mahanakan Aman Ratan. Oh my gosh, look at that. It goes on forever and ever and ever. It's the rest of the paragraph. Well, I'm kind of glad they shortened it to Bangkok. That's amazing. Look at that. All right, let's see what the craft is. Here is the envelope. It's a narrow envelope. Feels like there's something bumpy here and a shape here. Let's open it up. The shape that I felt was this cute elephant shape. There is a sticker. Today is a special day. It's raffle day. Exclusively for our lucky customers. Follow the QR code for a chance to win great prizes only for verified purchases. All right, that's interesting. And it looks like some aluminum foil. I wonder if we are going to trace the elephants onto the aluminum foil and make a design. Maybe I'm going to scan the QR code and find out. You'll see the craft when I'm done. Wish me luck. This is how it turned out. I also had a blue little sparkly sticker for the eyeball. Jenny designed the decorative covering, and I didn't like how the back just had the little bits of tinfoil showing, so I took the envelope and cut out the flag and put it on the back so it looks more finished. I thought this was fun. It's a little challenging for younger kids, I think, wrapping around the little small parts, the tail and the trunk, but older kids definitely could do this craft. See you tomorrow for day 7. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. Here is everything that I picked up on the trip to Goodwill. If you are interested in seeing what Jenny's advent calendar looks like, there is a link to her channel in the description of every video. She is doing daily shorts, and it is Funko Pops. It's a lot of fun to see what she has. And now a word from our dogs. Oh, there's Charlie.
Ready?
Yeah.
Nice. Nice. That was a nice.
Charlie.
Nice.
3 sharks.
I know, big guy.
Yeah, they are puppy sharks.
Actually, it's a thing. Dog shark.
Indy.
Indy,
Indy,
come
come
here.
here.
Come on.
Special invitation to the grandma. Okay. Merry Chicken Christmas.